Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So I hope you've missed me as much as I've missed you. I've been out for a little while. School is finally out. I am done with high school. Finished all of my classes. Had a load of senior projects that I had to get completed. So I've been away from the radio mic, but I am back. I am done with high school. Graduation is coming up this Friday. But I'm finished with all my classes, so that's great. Really happy about that, but it's just been really crazy. I've been trying to get my life together. Still working on that. But no, but I seriously had like 6 projects that I had to do. I mean, it was absolutely insane. Worksheets, all this other stuff that they just started loading on us the last few weeks of school. Got all that completed. It was insane. It was literally insane. And on top of that, I was in the middle of writing a book and getting that published before I graduated. And actually, I ended up getting that completed. It's a religious book. It's called Why Do We Sin? ? And it's available for purchase on Amazon and also on a website called lulu.com, L-U-L-U. That's another retailer. But yeah, I got that published. Have all the senior projects completed, turned in, they're finished. Finished high school, got through all the classes, and then I have graduation coming up on Friday. So this is still a pretty busy week for me because I also on Wednesday have senior sermon. They've asked me to do that, so I'm going to be delivering my senior sermon at the high school this Wednesday. It's going to take place at 7:00 p.m. And actually, I want to tell you the little background story behind that because it's really kind of neat. I went to an event in Clarksburg, West Virginia, earlier last year called Festival of Life with Jonathan Shuttlesworth. You probably heard me talk about it on the show if you were listening then. But it was really just an absolutely amazing event that took place there because I witnessed over 400 people come to the altar and give their lives over to Christ. And we're talking about people who are heroin addicts, who were heavily involved in drugs. That whole week they stayed there at this Festival of Life thing, listening to the gospel being preached. Many of those same people are now members of a church over in Clarksburg. It's really just amazing how God moved in that service. I had never seen anything like it. First day, 400 people came to the altar. I was a member of the altar team, a volunteer. But after that occurred, I don't know what it was. It's just like I had this desire to preach to my school. And I was even considering renting out the auditorium, but really just never came around to it. But, if God has a message that he wants you to deliver, he will make a way for that to happen. So anyway, I went to camp meeting, which is basically revival, over in Worthington, West Virginia. It's near Fairmont. And a friend of mine, Pastor Tim Shuttlesworth, he's actually the uncle of Jonathan Shuttlesworth, was there. And he started prepping me for senior sermon. And I said, Pastor Tim, I said, they haven't asked me to do senior sermon. I'm not doing it. And he said, oh, well, I'm going to give you a few pointers anyway. Now, I kind of all of a sudden started having a feeling just a little bit slightly prior to that, had the idea that maybe I would be doing it. But I really had my doubts because I'm a controversial guy, okay? I mean, I'm recognized as being controversial. So I thought, maybe I'm just too controversial for them and they're not going to have anything, have me to do anything for that, which I, expected. That's what I expected anyway. But anyway, it kind of struck me when he made that remark, well, I'm going to prep you anyway. Because the following day, I'm walking in the hallway, and I see the teacher that is responsible for putting senior sermon together, and she comes up to me, and as soon as I see her, I know what she's going to say. And she asks, Caiden, 2 people recommended you for senior sermon, and I was wondering if you would be interested in being a part of it. So it's like, wow, well, okay, yeah, sure, you better believe it. Absolutely. She said, you can get back to me in a week and just let me know. I just need to know as soon as possible. And I said, nope, I'm doing it. I said, definitely, I'm all in. I know when God's working. So I really believe that God has placed a message upon my heart to present to them. It's going to be, I think, pretty good. It's a message on three things: valuation, which is basically your appraisal, how much you are worth to God, your value. Because I've noticed that a lot of people, especially when they're heavily engulfed in sin, they have a tendency to lose that value, or to lose that self-value, I should say, that self-worth. I want to talk about destruction, how the devil uses sin in order to reach people and destroy them and lead them to death. And then I also want to talk about salvation, how Jesus comes in and will pull you out of that path of destruction that the devil has set you on. But anyway, I've been going through a bunch of scripture on what to read and everything to say. And one of the things that really struck me, I was actually reading through Ecclesiastes chapter 11 yesterday, and this came up because I thought I had everything prepared. I've got everything all down, but then I started reading this, and it's like, wow, I've got to read this. And I actually opened up to this page by mistake. I just opened the Bible up and just started reading, and it's like, wow, I think I'll use that. But it's in Ecclesiastes chapter 11, starting at verse 9, and it's directed to young people, and it says, "Young people, it's wonderful to be young. Enjoy every minute of it. Do everything you want to do, take it all in. But remember that you must give an account to God for everything that you do." Wow. So, a lot of times people say, well, being a Christian isn't any fun. No. He said, enjoy every minute of it. Enjoy every minute of your youth. Do everything that you want to do, take it all in. But remember that you must give an account to God for everything that you do. You can have fun without sinning. And that's something that I think that a lot of people are losing today, in the world anyway, is that they have this set of belief, or this belief system that being a Christian isn't fun, being a Christian is miserable. We're going to carry our sorry derrieres across the pearly gates, and that's when the blessing comes. But then when we get to 2 Timothy and we begin reading in that, it talks about how you'll be blessed in this life and in the life to come. That's another part of the sermon. So it's 1 Timothy is what it says. It says, "Do not waste time arguing over godless ideas and old wives' tales. Instead, train yourself to be godly. Physical training is good, but training for godliness is much better, promising benefits in this life and in the life to come." So you have benefits in this life and also in the life to come, which is eternity. But getting back to Ecclesiastes here, it says, "Young people, it is wonderful for you to be young. Enjoy every minute of it. Do everything you want to do. Take it all in. But remember that you must give an account to God for everything you do. So refuse to worry and keep your body healthy. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Don't engage, in sexually immoral behavior that, can contribute to you getting STDs. It's basically what it's saying. Be healthy. Don't do drugs. Don't do intoxicants. But remember that youth with a whole life before you is meaningless. Don't let the excitement of youth cause you to forget about your Creator. I love this. Don't let the excitement of youth cause you to forget about the Creator. Don't let your youth and the activities that you engage in cause you to forget about God. Remember God in everything that you do. Acknowledge God in everything that you do. And what does the Bible say? He'll direct your paths. And that's the thing. That's really important to just point out here, because a lot of times young people, when they're engaging, in their various types of behavior, they forget about God. They live for the moment. And this is a scripture that really addresses what we're seeing today. It says, "Honor him in your youth before you grow old and say, life is not pleasant anymore. Remember him before the light of the sun, moon, and stars is dim to your old eyes, and rain clouds continue to darken your sky. Remember him before your legs, the guards of your house, start to tremble, and before your shoulders, the strong men stoop. Remember him before your teeth, your few remaining servants, stop grinding, and before your eyes, the windows see dimly." Remember him before the door to life's opportunities is closed and the sound of work fades. Now, that's another thing that I really want to point out. Remember him before the door to life's opportunities is closed and the sound of work fades. Remember him before the door to life's opportunities is closed. So, in your youth, there is a door open to life's opportunities. Now, why would it be saying in Ecclesiastes to remember God before that door shuts? Because God is the one that provides you with opportunities. God is the one who blesses you. God is the one who provides you with success, as he's designed a path of success for each and every one of us. So what this is saying, remember God, serve God, live for God, so that you may receive the blessings that he has to offer you, and you will be able to open that door that leads to opportunity and success that God desires you to enter, and that you should desire to enter. I mean, it leads to your opportunity, to your success. So we learn here by serving God, you have opportunity. Now you rise at the first chirping of the birds, but then all their sounds will grow faint. 5. Remember him before you become fearful of falling and worry about danger in the streets. Remember him before you become fearful of falling and worry about danger in the streets. Falling. Before your hair turns white, like an almond tree in bloom, and you drag along without energy, like a dying grasshopper, and the cranberry no longer inspires desire. Remember him before you near the grave, your everlasting home, when the mourners will weep at your funeral. Yes, remember your Creator, now while you're young, before the silver cord of life snaps and the golden bowl is broken. Don't wait until the water jar is smashed at the spring and the pulley is broken at the well. Don't wait until the jar is smashed at the spring. You know, there are different ways to interpret that, but the way that I look at that, turn to God before you crash, before the jar is smashed. Turn to God, because all paths of sin lead to destruction. All paths of sin lead to a fall, lead to a crash, lead to being smashed. Before you get to that point where you're smashed, where you're crushed, where you fall, turn to God, and he will save you from that path of destruction that the devil has set you on. For then the dust will return to the earth, and the spirit will return to God who gave it. I think that's a pretty good verse to read. And it starts in Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 9, going through chapter 12, ending at verse 7. So I just read that yesterday. That really spoke volumes to me. Really like that. It's God's advice to young and old. But mainly we want to focus, of course, on the young people, as this is going to be their senior sermon. So I thought that was a really good verse to read. I was really just amazed that I found it. Yeah, it was that spoke volumes to me. Really, it was really great. But that's the problem that a lot of young people have, is exactly what it said there in the beginning of chapter 12. Don't let the excitement of youth cause you to forget about your Creator. Well, that's what happens with a lot of people. They're young, they're foolish, they go out and they do things that they shouldn't, and they forget that God even exists. They spend more time getting high than they do searching God, and then they wonder why they can't find Him and why their lives are unstable. It's because when you are allowing yourself to be mastered by intoxicating substances, you're not going to have a relationship with God, because that is a God in your life, because it's controlling you. It's telling you, get high, get high, get high. And that's why you've got to be liberated by giving your life over to God. And He will set you free from that bondage that you have been placed under. And He will give you a new life and renew within you a pure spirit.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Are you looking for tickets to the hottest concerts, big game, or theater show? Look no further than StarFanTickets.com. We have amazing tickets to almost everything. No event is ever sold out. Why wait? It's easy to get the tickets you want at the prices you'll love. Simply search for the event. Then click the Find Tickets button. That's StarFanTickets.com. Join the StarFan crew mailing list and stay up to date on all the hottest events in your area. That's StarFanTickets.com. We have your tickets. Hashtag, you going?
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger.
All right, so that was just a little taste of my senior sermon. Hope you liked it.
Somebody had to say it.
No, but I have several verses that I've selected to read, and it's pretty good. I'm going to get into detail about what is and is not sin, what the Bible calls sin. All paths of sin lead to destruction. And one of the things that I thought of that was a great way to present that is that I ask you, have all you guys heard of the saying, all roads lead to Rome? Because in the ancient Roman Empire, all roads were built to lead to Rome. Well, that's basically the same exact way that sin works. All roads of sin, all paths of sin lead to destruction. That's why God tells you don't do it, because He doesn't want you to destroy yourself. He doesn't want you to harm yourself. And, that's one of the things that I've also expressed. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care what you are. You can be, a member of whatever faith or not even believe in God at all. But there are secular reasons to oppose sin. And one of the things that I found, this was an article that was posted on foxnews.com. It's out of Colorado. We've been talking about how the government in Colorado is making supposedly all this money. Now, the state government isn't making any money hardly at all, because all the money that they generate from legal weed in Colorado goes to the cost of legalization, which are the expenses associated with legalizing marijuana. But anyway, the local municipalities, the local governments, have been the only ones predominantly benefiting from legal marijuana. Well, anyway, as we're finding out here from FoxNews.com, legalized marijuana is turning Colorado, a Colorado resort area, into a homeless magnet. This is from Fox News. From his sidewalk vantage point in front of an outdoor equipment store in downtown Durango, Colorado, Matthew Marenstick has seen a transformation in this mountain resort town. The town near the New Mexico border, once a vibrant upscale community dotted with luxury hotels, is being overrun by panhandlers, thanks in part to the legalization of marijuana. The town suddenly became a haven for recreational pot users, drawing in, bunch of them, panhandlers, and a large number of homeless drug addicts, according to officials and business owners. Many are coming from New Mexico, Arizona, and even New York. Legalized marijuana has drawn a lot of kids here from other states, and the impact has not at all been good. This is Marenstick, 58, while holding a cardboard sign asking for help. Several people holding cardboard signs could be seen along the streets of Durango now. Some just ask for marijuana. So let me make this clear to you. Some of these homeless people are just asking for marijuana. They don't care about the money. All that they want is the weed. Some are just holding signs asking for marijuana, or imply that that's what they want with a photo of a green pot leaf. But it's not just pot users being drawn to Durango. The city really started freaking out when they started seeing needles in the streets. Oh, but marijuana is not a gateway. Marijuana is not a gateway drug. After all, our state legislatures in West Virginia, our state legislators, they've been telling us, no, marijuana is not a gateway drug. It's a gateway of opioid abuse, right? No, but here they're finding a bunch of needles everywhere in Colorado. But hey, legal marijuana, legalize everything, you'll see drug usage and it'll go really way down. Right. Yeah, that's what they want you to say. And I remind you that the ones that make those absolutely absurd claims are potheads. Marijuana destroys judgment, been proven to do that. So, the people that are making such absurd remarks already have their judgment impaired, so of course they're not able to rationally think things through. And if that makes sense to you, then you've probably had deterioration of, your brain and neurological activity altogether. But anyway, so that's what they're seeing. Now we're seeing needles out in the streets in Colorado. Caleb Preston, a store manager in a gift shop and a former street entertainer, said that the homeless and the panhandling issue in Durango has gotten out of hand since the state's legalized marijuana policy. Just this year, there has been a major influx of people between ages 20 to 30 who are just hanging out on the streets, Preston said. The problem is while many are pretty mellow, there are many more who are violent. Preston said that he's become accustomed to kicking out people who perch themselves in front of the store. Most of the kids here are from out of state, and I would say it has a lot to do with legalized pot, said Preston. He said he's also noticed an uptick in crime in the area. Shoplifting, he said, has become a major problem in Durango, and business owners are becoming fed up. The city's business environment, let me repeat that. The city's Business Improvement District held a meeting May 12th to review the results of a survey completed by local businesses on how to address the panhandling issue, which has become an urgent matter as the city enters its busy summer tourist season. Among the suggestions were stricter laws for panhandling and loitering, strategic placement of obstacles, such as bistro tables and flower boxes to discourage sitting and lying on sidewalks. They propose launching a campaign discouraging tourists to give money to the panhandlers, and blah, 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 blah. So, as a result of what we're seeing here, in summary, is that we have a bunch of people that are strung out on weed, that are blowing all their money out on weed, and while we're seeing the local municipality governments gaining revenue, it's making the people poor. So the government's getting richer, the people are getting poorer, because the people are blowing all their money out on pot. The government's getting all their money because they're addicted to a substance, and the government is taking advantage of their drug addiction, basically. So yeah, if you want the government to get money, let's legalize pot. Yeah, let's legalize pot and make the people poor and the government rich, because that always works out well, and that does not contribute to tyrannical government. That's why these liberals want to get people high. It's because that's the best way to enact big government. The government gets rich, the people get poor, the people are without employment or without work, and the government comes in and takes care of everything. Because the people are too helpless to take care of themselves because they're high. That's why liberals support legal weed. It dumbs people down enough so that they are completely neurologically numb, and the government can just sweep in and take over. Homeless population increasing. But hey, you tell that to a pothead or any pro-pot activist, they'll just say you are uneducated. Okay, yeah, because facts don't matter when you're talking about weed, do they? They don't matter, do they? As long as everybody's high, everybody's fine. That's the way that these people view it. But it goes back to the scripture. What does the scripture say? 1 Peter chapter 5, 8 through 9. It says, be sober-minded. There again, we have the Bible saying, be sober-minded. Don't mess around with intoxicants. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, 9 through 10 says that drunkards shall not inherit the kingdom of God. Be not deceived. Drunkard comes from the original Greek, I believe it's pronounced martheseus, which is defined as intoxicants. So it can mean drug usage, it can mean alcohol, it's just the word for intoxicant. So, guys, I mean, drugs have become a really bad problem in the United States. I've seen it really have a negative impact here in my area. It started off on marijuana, now they go into harder substances. But hey, it's not a gateway. No. But that's the thing. A lot of these, 30, 40-year-olds that are raising children that are high, even if they don't go into harder drugs and they only are raised on pot, being high on marijuana to their children is equivalent to that of being sober in a regular household. Being high on marijuana is they're sober. So if kids want to get high, what are they going to do? Because they will desire to get higher. They'll go on to harder drugs. So you're going to have another generation that's going to be even worse in drug usage.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China...
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network, where America comes to talk.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. So apparently Mike Pence was speaking at Notre Dame University in Indiana, and a bunch of people walked out. A bunch of the graduates walked out of his speech. We have the audio bit here for you. This is audio from Notre Dame, from their graduation ceremony. And you'll be able to hear the boos of the students booing the liberal students that are walking out. Go ahead.
On behalf of the University of Notre Dame, we are honored to welcome the 50th governor of our state and the 48th vice president of the United States, Michael Richard Pence.
So here you have Mike Pence approaching the podium. Everybody's clapping. He's walking up to the podium. Camera zooming out. And now we have where the camera is panning to the right. And there you can see a bunch of liberal, sissy students walking out. And how about that? They're all wearing rainbows. Rainbow flag. There we go. LGBT. Surprise, surprise. Rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. There's another 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 rainbow. So, they're all gay. Not all of them, but a large majority of the people that were walking out were gay. They were LGBT militant homosexuals walking out of Mike Pence's graduation speech. So, how tolerant the LGBT liberal left is, aren't they? They're really tolerant group of people. So they talk about how we are supposed to be tolerant of their sexual perversion, how we have to give our stamp of approval on their sexual habits, how we have to approve of what they do in their bedroom. However, when it comes to actually just hearing us speak, even if it has absolutely nothing to do with the whole gay thing, but just hearing us speak, they want nothing to do with it. They can't even stand to hear us. So they walk out. They're intolerant. They are the definition of intolerant. And what do they say? Intolerance cannot be tolerated. Intolerance cannot be tolerated. And Mike Pence, he's intolerant, so he cannot be tolerated. So if you are not tolerant of intolerance, then that makes you intolerant, so your intolerance cannot be tolerated, which would then make me intolerant. So I don't know how that works. But that's liberalism. It's just all a big mind game that doesn't make sense to anybody other than the insane people that follow it. But yeah, those are liberals for you. Now anyway, I want you to go ahead and listen to Mike Pence and his speech that took place at Notre Dame, because it was a good speech. He blasted the suppression of free speech on college campuses. It was a pretty good speech. And this is audio bit from FoxNews.com. There we go.
Values that you've learned at Notre Dame into your lives and your careers. Be leaders in your families, in your communities, and in every field of endeavor for the values you learned here at Notre Dame. And in these divided times, I urge you to take one more aspect of the culture of this historic institution into the mainstream of American life. You know, if the emanations of free speech were charted on a map like infrared heat signatures, one would hope that universities would be the hottest places. Red and purple with dispute, not dark blue and white, frozen in decant orthodoxy and intellectual stasis. If such a map were to exist, Notre Dame would burn bright with the glow of vibrant discussion. This university is a vanguard of freedom of expression and the free exchange of ideas at a time, sadly, when free speech and civility are waning on campuses across America. Notre Dame is a campus where deliberation is welcomed, where opposing views are debated, and where every speaker, no matter how unpopular or unfashionable, is afforded the right to air their views in the open for all to hear.
There you go.
But Notre Dame is an exception, an island in a sea of conformity, so far spared from the noxious wave that seems to be rushing over much of academia. While this institution has maintained an atmosphere of civility and open debate, far too many campuses across America have become characterized by speech codes, safe zones, tone policing, administration-sanctioned political correctness, all of which amounts to nothing less than suppression of the freedom of speech.
There you go.
These all too common practices are destructive of learning and the pursuit of knowledge, and they are wholly outside the American tradition.
Yep.
As you, our youth, are the future, and universities, the bellwether of thought and culture, I would submit that the increasing intolerance and suppression of the time-honored tradition of free expression on our campuses jeopardizes the liberties of every American. This should not and must not be met with silence.
And that was Mike Pence at Notre Dame during the commencement ceremony, his graduation. So, anyway, you had a bunch of liberals that walked out. Mike Pence took that as an opportunity to discuss the suppression of free speech on college campuses, so that was good. But I tell you, it's just so absolutely insane. These people profess to be the most tolerant when they are actually the most intolerant. They can't take anybody opposing their views. If you oppose their views, they hate you, they despise you. I mean, you can be a great guy. You can have a good speech. But if you disagree with their politics, they want absolutely nothing to do with you. And they hate you. They despise you. You're an awful person. They believe that, you should rot in a prison cell somewhere. If they had the ability to enact, what they call hate crime or hate speech, type of, orders, they would do it. And they would have us in jail. They would have every conservative talk radio host in jail. They would have every politician that is, a conservative in jail. They would. They would have pastors in jail. They are afraid of speech. You know why? Because they're afraid of reasonable thought. They are incapable of reasonable thought. They are, I think, mentally deranged. I think that liberalism is a mental impairment. Because, I mean, just that way of thinking, it's irrational. It's not based in fact. It is not based in it's based in a way of thinking that is not civil. It lacks respect for others while professing that the alternative views lack respect for others. It is contradictive. It oftentimes associates conservatism as being somehow, how could I describe this? Liberalism has a tendency to associate attributes to conservatism such as intolerance, when actually that is used as being a very accurate description of liberalism, intolerant. Because according to the ideals of liberalism, you cannot have an opposing view that is not liberal. Either you agree with the agenda of the liberal left, or you have no right to an opinion, and you should know your place. So it's really just quite concerning. It's anti-American.
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network, where America comes to talk.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say
Jimmy Zulz, for those of you who don't know who that is, that's the announcer guy that does the Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it at the opening and closing of each segment. I used to have a radio show called the Jimmy Z Show. He ended that, and he really needs to get back at it because he was absolutely phenomenal at it. I mean, the guy's great. He is a great radio host. Should go professional. But anyway, he sent me an article from the Daily Wire, and apparently you have SJWs, social justice warriors, that are expressing that Western math is discriminatory. Western mathematics is discriminatory. Listen to this. This is from the Daily Wire. Teach for America and edX have joined forces to create a 6 week, let me see if I can talk, a 6-week online course titled Teaching Social Justice Through Mathematics. Teaching Social Justice Through Mathematics. As Campus Reform reports, it attempts to teach middle school teachers how to incorporate social justice causes into the teaching of math, or meth. I don't know how you pronounce that. Math, I think. Math. Not meth, math. Here is how the course is described. Do you ask students to think deeply? Do you ask students to think deeply about global and local social justice issues within your mathematics classroom? This education and teacher training course will help you blend secondary math instruction with topics such as inequity, poverty, and privilege to transform students into global thinkers and mathematicians. Many concepts found in secondary mathematics curricula can seem too abstract to students, but setting the mathematics within a specifically developed social justice framework can help students realize the power and meaning both the data and social justice concerns. Throughout this course, we will consider and apply different aspects of this framework as you explore multiple math and social justice activities, as well as craft your own. Here is a syllabus. Week 1, course orientation and survey of social justice issues. Introduction to course and survey of a selection of social justice issues. Week 2, understanding your social justice topic. Focus on researching and understanding multiple facets of your social justice issue that is chosen. Week 3, let the math tell the story. Identify the various data sets that exist around your social justice issue. Let the data inform the mathematics. Week 4, constructing the lesson. Write the activity that includes developing the student narrative and considering displays of data of the social justice issue. Week 5, refining and testing the idea. Complete the activity. Gauge resultant versus intended takeaways. Gather feedback on your social justice issue. Week 6, using the course in class and a course wrap-up. Use the activity you developed in your classroom or consider the implications of using one of these activities in a math classroom. This issue also includes a course wrap-up of, yes, your social justice issue. So that is basically what they're wanting to do here. If that does not appeal to one's social justice quota, Reason reports that the course has multiple issues with Western mathematics, which is the foundation for most modern mathematics today. Here's what the course tells students. In Western mathematics, American mathematics, our ways of knowing include formalized reasoning or proof, algorithmic thinking, leaving little room for those having non-Western mathematics skills, and thinking processes. Oh my gosh! So being smart is offensive to all non-Westerners. Mathematical ethics recognizes that for centuries, mathematics has been used as a dehumanizing tool. Oh my goodness! Mathematics is a dehumanizing tool. Mathematics formulate also differentiate between the classifications of a war or a genocide and have been used to trick indigenous peoples out of land and property. What the heck? Math is racist according to SJWs. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening to us. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God bless America.